Hey there all, and welcome to the Champion Helmets Best Sport Touring Helmets of 2020 guide, where we've road tested these top touring helmets to find which is best. If you're planning to go out on the road for a good stretch of time, chances are you're going to want a good sport touring helmet there with you. The main difference between a touring and a sport touring helmet is that a sport touring helmet usually has both a more aggressive and sport-oriented look, and it comes with an integrated sun visor. All the helmets that we have here today fall into this category, except for the AGV K6, since it doesn't have a sun visor, but we've included it anyway since it is still positioned as a sport touring helmet by AGV with top performance. So, the helmets we'll be taking out on the road include the Shark Spartan GT Carbon, the HJC Arfa 70, the Arai Profile-V, the Shoei GT Air2, and the AGV K6. While we did test more helmets and have a few runners-up, we'll go over those towards the end. Before diving into the road test, just remember that if you want to learn more about these helmets, to head to our YouTube channel, where each one has its own full review and road test. I'll just quickly let you know how we tested each of these helmets. First off, we conducted our test at 130 km per hour on long stretches of highway, where we did our best to avoid obstacles. On the left, you can see the monitor we used to measure the temperature in the helmet through a thermometer placed in the top of the helmet. In the middle is a decibel meter taking measurements from a microphone placed near the ear in the helmet. On the right is a phone showing the day's average wind speed. Lastly, in the middle on the dash is our rider's speed, and the exterior temperature is under that. The Shark Spartan GT Carbon is the newest helmet in Shark's lineup and is the successor to the already well-established Shark Spartan Carbon. This helmet will be coming in at a recommended retail price of about €480 or about $530 US. As the name implies, the shell is made of carbon fiber, which means it's a lightweight helmet at about 1,450 grams in a size M. This helmet also comes in two shell sizes, which is pretty standard from Shark. The visor on the Spartan GT is pinlock prepared, and the lens is included in the box, and the integrated sun visor is operated by a slider on top of the helmet. Lastly, the liner is removable, washable, and has emergency release cheek pads. When we took the Spartan GT Carbon out, it was an unremarkable gray autumn day with the wind speed at about 100 to 115 km per hour. The helmet's internal temperature was about 14 to 15 degrees, while the exterior temperature was about 13 degrees. So that's a 1 to half a degree difference, which isn't bad. For noise, this helmet was about average, getting 100 to 102 decibels on our readings. For ranking, the Shark Spartan GT is fairly good across the board. For material, with a carbon shell and two shell sizes, that's 4 stars. For its lightweight as well, that's another 4 stars. For the well-stocked visor, that's another 4 stars for the Shark helmet. However, since this was a noisy helmet, that's unfortunately 2 stars for noise. For ventilation, this helmet did well though with 4 stars, while for comfort, this helmet also did well with another 4 stars. This brings the Spartan GT Carbon to, you guessed it, a total of 4 stars at €22 per star, which isn't too bad. Next up, we've got the HJC Arfa 70, another top touring helmet. The Arfa 70 will be coming in at about €400 or around $440 US. This helmet is made of HJC's premium integrated matrix of fiberglass and carbon, making it lightweight at about 1,470 grams. This helmet also comes in 3 shell sizes. The visor of the Arfa 70 is pinlock prepared with the insert included in the box, and it has a drop-down sun visor. The liner of the Arfa 70 is removable, washable, and antibacterial. We took out the Arfa 70 on an average day with the wind speed at about 115 to 125 km per hour, similar to the previous helmets. Our rider found the helmet insulated noise well, which is just as well since it was supported by our data when we measured an incredible 97 decibels for noise, which is an astounding result for noise isolation. However, the ventilation on the helmet was about 24 degrees Celsius, while the external temperature was 21 degrees, so that's a 3-degree difference, which is a shame from such a popular helmet. Despite the poor performance for temperature control, this helmet still ranks well across the board. For material, this helmet gets 4.5 stars for its 3 shell sizes and carbon fiberglass shell. This has the added bonus that this helmet gets another 4 stars for weight. For the visor, this helmet comes with all the expected amenities, so that's another 4 stars. However, ventilation on this helmet was poor, giving it only 2 stars. Nonetheless, the Arfa 70 came right back with a great noise isolation result, earning 5 stars for 97 decibels of noise. For comfort, this helmet also did well with a further 4 stars. Overall, this brings the Arfa 70 to a total of 4 stars at €18 per star, which makes this an excellent bang-for-your-buck option. Next up, we've got the Arai Profile-V, one of Arai's classic touring helmets. This helmet is made of fiberglass and comes in a decent 3 shell sizes, and all at an average weight of 1,495 grams, which isn't too bad. This helmet will be coming in at about €390 or about $440, which is also not too bad. When we tested this helmet out, it was a nice sunny summer day with the wind speed at about 125 kilometers per hour. The outside temperature for the day was 21 degrees Celsius, while the helmet's internal temperature was about 28 degrees Celsius. For noise, this helmet did alright with about 101 decibels inside the helmet, which is average. Overall, this helmet did well for a sport touring helmet. For material, this helmet earns 4 stars for its fiberglass shell and 3 shell sizes. For its decent weight, this helmet gets another 4 stars. The excellent visor of the Profile-V also gives it another 5 stars, even though it doesn't have an integrated sun visor. Unfortunately, with the 7-degree difference, this helmet did poorly with 1 star. However, for a fair noise isolation result, this helmet gets a further 3 stars for noise isolation. Lastly, this helmet did well for comfort with a further 4 stars. This brings the Profile-V to a total of 3 out of 5 stars at 18.5 euros per star, which is a bit high for a 3-star helmet, though it is a less expensive Arai helmet and noted for its safety factor. We now come to the famous Shoei GT Air2. This is one of the most popular helmets in this helmet category out there, and it comes in at a recommended retail price of about €530 or about $590. The GTR2 is made of Shoei's advanced integrated matrix AIM material, comes in 3 shell sizes, and is fairly lightweight at about 1,450 grams. The visor is anti-fog pinlock prepared with the insert in the box, and it has an integrated sun visor. The liner of the GTR2 is fully removable, washable, antibacterial, and it has emergency release cheek pads. Like most of the rest of these helmets, we took the GTR2 out on a warm sunny day with the average wind speed at about 130 km per hour. The GTR2 did well for ventilation with 27 degrees inside the helmet compared to 26 outside, so that's a 1 degree difference. For noise, this helmet also did well with about 97 decibels, which is again an excellent result. Overall, the GTR2 scored very well with 3 shell sizes and Shoei's AIM material, that's 4.5 stars for material. For weight as well, the GTR2 did well with 4 stars. Since the GTR2's visor is sturdy and has the pinlock insert in the box, that's another 4 stars. For ventilation, this helmet also did well with a 1 degree difference, so that's another 4 stars. For noise isolation, the Shoei did excellent, giving it a well-deserved 5 stars. And lastly, for comfort, the GTR2 did well, getting another 5 stars. This brings the GTR2 to a total of 4 stars at €20 per star, which is a fairly good result. Lastly, for today, we come to the AGV K6. While this helmet is not quite so famous as the GTR2 and doesn't have an integrated sun visor, it's still a very strong contender among today's helmets. The AGV K6 is coming in at a recommended retail price of about €430 or about $480. The shell of the K6 is made of carbon and aramid to make it strong and light at about 1,350 grams. This helmet will also be coming in a very nice 4 shell sizes. The visor of the K6 is anti-scratch and pinlock paired with the anti-fog pinlock insert in the box. The liner of the K6 is made of Ritmo, Shalimar, 2Dry, and Microsense, which are all a bunch of AGV premium liner materials that will give you a nice and comfortable helmet. When we took the K6 out, we had some nice weather then as well, and the wind speed was a fairly consistent range of 115 to 120 kilometers per hour. For ventilation, we measured about 23 degrees inside the helmet, while outside it was about 22 degrees Celsius, so that's a very good 1 degree difference. For noise, we measured about 101 decibels, which was also very good. Overall, the K6 did well for our ratings. For material, the K6 gets 4 stars thanks to its carbon aramid shell and 4 shell sizes. For weight, this material has shown through with a comfortable 5 stars. For the visor, the K6 also brought everything we were hoping for with another 4 stars. For noise, the K6 gets a decent 3 stars for its 101 decibels. For the K6's ventilation, this helmet gets another 4 stars for a difference of 1 degree. Lastly, for comfort, this helmet also did well with 3.5 stars for the quality liner. This leaves the K6 with a total of 4 stars at about €17.5 per star, which is a decent number, especially from a top company like AGV. With all our helmets over with, let's just see how all these helmets do all together, along with the 2 runners-up, the Icon Airframe Pro and the Nolan N87 Plus. First off, we just tested the Nolan N87 Plus out when the weather was about 9 degrees Celsius, while the helmet's interior temperature was about 11 degrees, so that was a 2 degree difference. For noise, we recorded about 102 decibels in the helmet, with the wind speed ranging from 110 to 130 kilometers per hour. While the Nolan N87 Plus does best as a value for money helmet since it spans the entry to medium level helmet range, it didn't quite give us the top performance we were looking for. The same goes for the Icon Airframe Pro, since it didn't quite perform at the level we hoped and it was an expensive helmet for value for money. When we tested the Icon Airframe Pro out, it was about 15 degrees Celsius outside, while it was about 14 degrees inside the helmet, which is very good. The wind speed for the day was about 100 to 115 kilometers per hour, and the helmet's noise level was about 103 decibels. While this helmet does do well for ventilation, it seemed to give average performance in the rest of the categories, and the visor mechanism was difficult to operate, which left the Airframe Pro as a decent mid-range runner-up. It's clear here that in terms of the best sport touring helmet, it's the Shoei GT2 that wins overall, since it did much better for ventilation than the HJC Arfa 70 and did a little bit better for comfort, giving it that half star that put it at the top. For noise isolation, the GTR2 was tied with the Arfa 70, but since these are already top helmets, we did have to get a bit picky. The AGV K6 was a pleasant surprise as the lightest helmet that still performed well across the board, and as an AGV, wasn't exorbitantly expensive, giving a good value for money. However, as the best value for money helmet, we have the Nolan N87 Plus with 15 euros per star, which shows you're already getting a quality 3-star helmet for a great price. The Nolan N87 will also bring an even stronger result for value for money with 13 euros per star. If you'd like to purchase any of these helmets, then make sure to check out our website at championhelmets.com, where we have a lowest price guarantee and plenty of great bundle deals, including discounted visors and communication systems from both Sena and Cardo. So we've done our road test and we now know the best full-face sport touring helmet. But make sure to let us know which one you think is the best in the comments below, and if you like the video, make sure to subscribe. I'm Sebastian from Champion Helmets, and thanks for watching.